All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are taking a look at EBET, GNS, and IDEX on this video today. So look, I'm trying not to get excited here, all right? Because it is only one candle, it is only a doji, and it is a very critical line. But there's a lot to like here on EBET, all right? Some people have actually liked EBET a little earlier than me. I know a couple people were talking about it, and I mentioned the move from 5 to 7. For me, it was just a little too risky, but oh man, this next move, if it happens, is what could be a beautiful move, all right? After that, we're going to look at GNS. Look, GNS had a lot of hype today. It was definitely a good day. I'm not trying to take away from that, but I think I still need just a little bit more on GNS before I'm actually excited, all right? And then IDEX, I didn't catch this one. I don't know exactly what the charts look like. It was a viewer request towards the end of the day. I saw the percentage gain. It at least looked like a great day. I just know that that one's been hurting a lot, so I'm not sure if it was just a reset of the downtrend or an actual thing to get excited about. So that's what we'll look for, and actually relatively live on that one. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. Not too many, but there are some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms. If you can actually share the video, it does the most, because I am not the best at that, but just being here, giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's take a look at EBET. And again, I'm zoomed out this reason for a reason, right? What I really want to show is where the next lineup is, but before we can talk about the 100, it is all about the 50 moving average, all right? So let me just zoom out really quickly, all right? Man, this I get, and this is actually a little bit of a fake out, and really this whole little moment's a fake out, so I can actually keep zooming back. Good golly. Damn. So in a lot of ways, the last time we were nicely over the 50 moving average was back in the end of 2021, pretty much when it started. All right, we've actually, and you know what, let me just kind of make this a little more easier to see. I do a lot of stuff zoomed out too much. I'm just used to it, right? But look, even in the beginning days of EBET, all right, there was no 50 moving average on this day. It forms right here on this day, okay? You can see the average 50 line. We are able to get over it from this point, arguably all the way to here. All right, from middle of July to the end of September, okay? There's another little 1 month thing right here, but aside from this being the only real consistent moment, the only place where it actually used the 50 as well to bounce, man, we have struggled with that 50 moving average, all right? We definitely lose it right here, and most of 2022 was well under it, a little hit and test, okay? There was obviously that one moment, damn, it was a while ago, right here, all right? There was this basically a 1 month window from middle of January, you can almost say late, but let's just for argument's sake say middle, all the way to, damn, dude, that was like, that wasn't even, that was like a 3-week window, whatever. We'll call it a month just to call it a month, where we get over it and then quickly fall under it, right? So, and aside from that, again, you can just see it as I move. We have been essentially, this 50 moving average line is no joke, all right? However, what's happened today, I care very little about this 24% day. Again, if you hit the day, hell yeah, good for you, right? Like, I actually very much am saying that sincerely, like, good for you. I'm glad you made that. For me, I still need to see what tomorrow does, because what is this? This is a doji. All right, I've said it so many times. I am not a candle pattern trader. You're never going to hear me say words like the wedge this or the falling that, or, you know, head and shoulders invert. Like, nah, okay? I don't really talk about candle patterns too. Like, there's something called a dragonfly this. There's like a I don't know if it's the gorilla name or the like a Haran, something. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know these things, right? The one I know is the doji. All right. And when you see a very skinny body, but really extreme wicks up and down, this screams uncertainty, especially when it's next to a moving average, especially one that's been a pain in the butt for as long as it has, all right? I'm actually seeing this creep up, so I already know post-market's going up. That's beautiful. That's a good thing to see. But again, you know I always say it. Post-market's an easy way to get your hand stuck in the cookie jar and isn't always the thing you should be looking at to make your decisions, right? But EBET is sitting at an important candle on an important line with some not too bad lower indicators. Let me just zoom out to see where the dash line is. Damn, I'm not going to be able to see it too well. That's the only real view. I'm like putting my face on the screen. It looks like we're either on it or under it. So I see the 0-0, but I'm not exactly sure how positive it is, all right? That said, that's a good little gap right there. That's called divergence, right? When the two lines are going away from each other. It's a fancy word for going away. Green over red is good. Green over red is good. I like that they both have some divergence going. Today was a nice day of volume, all right? I like that. We're well above the 50 moving average. We've actually been up here before. We got it on this day, and it actually looks like we did a little better today, right? So, look, the one thing I gotta say is just look at this stock. All it really knows how to do is trade under the 8 and the 20, under the 8 and the 20, under the 8 and the 20, occasionally go to the 50, go back under the 8 and 20, go back under the 8 and 20, go back under the 8 and the 20, occasionally to the 50. Oh, look, we had a one magic pop. I'll be honest. All I'm really looking for is one magic pop. I don't know if I've got reason to believe in sustainability just yet. We'll get to that maybe on the weekly, right? But yeah, all I'm honestly expecting is either hopefully we make a magical run here and then quickly fall, and hopefully I get in and out quick enough, or, you know, we're simply going to fail this and head back down, all right? So I'm telling you, I need just a little bit more. Where are you? 8 cents. All right. This needs to close at around 8 cents to feel really good about coming up to here. All right. Up to 14. Yes, I have this line here. It's half of this thing, a little higher than this. I think it's still a good line. Is there anything on the end of it? There isn't. All right, give me a second. Let me look at that one on the weekly. I'll come back to the weekly for sure. Damn, this actually might be a pretty insignificant line if you actually want to know the truth. Because what I was going to say is it is half of this, but it's kind of like, there's also a little bit of a plateau here. I'll leave it. But again, I am less focused on this, more can we break half of this to hopefully signal a ride up to there. That would be nice. And again, I'm going to show it one more time. I see the post market going up. Again, it's actually gone down a little bit since that first time I showed it because it was in the 40s. I know that, but we need to see what tomorrow closes at, all right? This is 50-50. Not too bad, not too bad. And look, let me at least stress, this is a 73, all right? I would be a lot more excited if this was like a 63, a 65. Like, there's plenty of room from 70 to 80, right? So I am hoping for a good, like, 2 days. How high have you been on the RS? Okay, cool. Oh, jeez. You've gotten to 97. And you were like, okay, all right, interesting. Again, if we can get this same pop from an RSI of like a high 70 all the way up to, dude, 90, sweet goodness. I think there's reason to believe that this can happen. Again, we want tomorrow's confirmation. I'm not excited about this after hours movement, all right? I promise you that. Where are we on the weekly? Damn, it's an interesting weekly. All right, what catches my eye? There's two things that catch my eye. The first one is just red, 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 red could be a real nice green, 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 green. Look, I don't want you to have 37-cent dreams. Like, that's a significant move from where we're at right now, right? We'll be watching it if it does something, right? But there are signals here that are at least saying, hey, 13 is kind of realistic. And again, that also goes with me saying, I think this is a little bit of an insignificant line and maybe we're going to want to come up here, right? So tomorrow's going to be an interesting day on EBET. EBET knows how to get some volume, all right? The 50-day average is sitting at around 150 million shares, right? So like, you know, it's had way more bad volume days than good volume days. But imagine if we can get a couple of those in a row, all right? I think that might start with tomorrow because, again, one more time, for the last 2 years, for lack of words, we've been well under this 50. If this thing gives me a reason to believe the 50 is no longer a thing, or at least at the minimum, we've avoided it for the moment, are going to try to run up and we'll probably come back at a later time. And if you're smart about it, you can play it well. Yeah, that'll bring some interest, I believe. So EBET, let's see what happens tomorrow. Don't get your hand stuck in the cookie jar. I see it coming down as I'm speaking. We're now down to third. It dropped 10% since I flashed it the first time, right? So that's EBET. Back to regular hours. Let's take a look at GNS. Okay, I can see why people liked GNS, all right? Today obviously is a 17% day. That's a monster day, and I can see why it would get people excited, all right? I'm still not 100% convinced, all right? We know it knows how to make some moves, all right? I've said it so many times, get over the 200 moving average, get over any single line once is nice, but you got to do it the day after and confirm. And this is what happens when you don't confirm, all right? I'm going to ignore today, right? If I made a video yesterday, I'll be so honest with everyone. If I made a video yesterday, I would have said we were coming down to 75 cents, all right? It's very much true that this is only a single candle and, you know, you got to wait for confirmation. Like literally the same things I was saying on EBET, I would have said here, but so many days under the 8, it's hard to have put a reason behind it. I saw the news this morning and, you know, it's an interesting piece of news because it has a little bit of a tie to AI. You know, I actually love AI stocks. Unfortunately, they're not doing that well right now, but I love the AI sector. I've been saying that for a while. I'm not taking any of that back. It, again, enhances their footprint. It makes it seem like there's revenues coming from that deal. Like, it actually wasn't like an insignificant piece of news, all right? And I think the doji speaks volumes to that. All right. Generally speaking, news is kind of irrelevant. All right. And like I said, we were under the 8, we were under the 20. We had just slipped under all 5 moving averages. This thing really should have gone down to 75 cents. Today, the news dropped, and look, some people thought, oh my, we're going to go. Some people thought, whoa, this is fake. Let's get under the 50. You know, end of the day, it actually opens below the 8 and closes over it. Obviously not significant enough, but hey, I'd rather the doji close over the 8 than the under it, I guess, right? Like, I think that's a simple thing to say. But what am I looking for? Man, I'm looking for hard confirmation. I think I'm going to lower this line a little bit, actually. I'm going to lower it to just for these. Again, I don't know if that was from something later. I'm going to at least take it to something a little more immediate. I think we got to at least, but see, at that point, look how close we are to the, dude, I'm going to delete this line. I am. If you want to know the truth, I think this line has done us well. I think it did well for today as well. Hopefully you used it if you saw this video I don't remember the last time I covered GNS, in all honesty. I think right now the moving averages matter the most, and this one right here is a good one to have. Because again, really, okay, let me at least look at it before I say it. So over the 8 moving average would be like 104, 105. Hopefully you would ride that up to 120. 15 cents is about, okay, you're going to add 10 cents on 105. That's a 10% move right there. 10% is a beautiful move, right? Like double digits are banking, you know. Going from 121 all the way up to 166 definitely seems like the better move, right? And to me, I think I would argue wait for 122 and hopefully ride that up. But yeah, you can actually argue, hey, if you get a good little confirmation tomorrow, maybe just even intraday it, ride it to the 20. I'm still not 100% sure that we're going to get over that 20 moving average at 120. I think 120 is going to be a really hard line to break. I think today's doji, again, it put a little credibility to the news. It got us over some. It actually got us over 3 moving averages. We gap up over the 2 and we close over the 3rd one, right? So the news did some good things. Tomorrow will let us know if the news gives us a little reason to believe in sustainability. And for me, that means breaking the 20 moving average. Or, hey, the news was a nice little moment. Hopefully you bank the 17% and we're getting ready to head back down into the 940, the 0.95, if not lower range. You know what I mean? But MACD is, again, it's flattening out, I guess. So at least it's not still going lower and lower, but it is in the negative. The RSI has been relatively flat on that number. And I think I'm still kind of seeing the red line downtrend. And then, yeah, like I said, look, you can see it. Volume has barely been cracking the 50 moving average. Today actually didn't even do it, right? Yeah, look, today's volume was 9.9. The average day was at 12.1. If I zoom in, yeah, I can even just done that. You can see the gap, right? So GNS, look, I could see reason to get excited. 17% is no joke of a day. I am not seeing sustainability just yet, all right? So let me look at the weekly really quickly. And yeah, again, the weekly, what's this line? 120, look at that. 120 is the top of this one. It's the top of this one. 120 was also the 20 moving average. 122, that's the number here on GNS, actually. I feel a lot more comfortable with that. GNS, I think that's good. Let me know if you disagree, as always, all right? IDEX. I, for real, don't remember the last time I talked about IDEX, all right? The last real significant thing I remember about IDEX was it was all about the 100 moving average. All we were doing was just battling that line. We were oscillating up, oscillating down, oscillating up, oscillating down, oscillating up. Unfortunately, end up slipping below and just trading well below the 8 and the 20. This moment right here is a very, very good reminder of why I'm telling you the 8 and the 20 are your worst friends when you're below them. It looks like you're going to break it. It looks like you're going to break it. You're actually 2 days over, but those are not good candles. Don't get you up there and end up just coming down, right? We see a reverse split and a relatively big one. I don't think the amount of the reverse split matters too much. Like, is 1 for 125 much different than 1 for 12? No, end of the day, in my book, a reverse split's a reverse split, regardless of the number, right? But yeah, all we've been doing really since the loss of the 100 moving average, even well before this, was just trading under the 8 moving average, all right? Trading under the 8 moving average. Today was a big day. Today was a big 12% day. Again, kind of the same thing I said on GNS, which had a 17% day. Yeah, it's hard to ignore that. It's actually also really hard to not get excited when you see that, right? It's good when you see this much big volume, right? It's actually not bad when you see the RSI turn around and you've seen nothing but low. This one was 14, 13, 10. We've been living in this very low RSI world, all right? End of the day, I have no reason to believe we're going to break the 8 moving average until it gives me a good reason to, all right? If we break the 8 moving average, I for sure do not believe we're going to break the 20 moving average, okay? I'm trying to give a number. I think that's my number. 218. Did we wick 218 today? No, the high was 215. I think 218 is a good number. I think 218 is where I would consider an entry to hopefully ride all the way up to that 280 number, all right? What I would really love is a break of that 280 and hopefully ride it all the way up to 6 something. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I think it's a little unrealistic, and actually this 320 line's a pretty big line because of that candle right there. But yeah, the real move is break the 20, go to the 50. I'm still struggling to believe we're going to break the 8, let alone break the 20, right? So maybe because of that, hey, if you're going to look at this, you might as well make the immediate move if it happens. I am saying I don't think it's going to happen. I think all we're doing is get to the 8 and fail, get to the 8 and fail, get to the 8 and fail, get to the 8 and fail. That's like, again, do I want bad things to happen here? I don't. All right. I remember a lot of people getting really excited right here, right? Like, you know, I love talking about good things on stocks. The last thing I'm going to do is tell you that the sky is blue when the fiery ash is just black, 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 right? Like, I live in LA. I know what blue skies look like, right? So, yeah, I am very, very much ignoring the 12% and very, very much putting weight on the lines that I live and die by, right? So where are we on the weekly? Yeah, that's what I imagined. Well under the 8, okay? Yeah. Again, the one thing I don't want to say is, you know, you can go low and then come back, because that actually does put a pretty high level for a target. And look, we have actually seen it. You go away from the 8 and you come back. But remember, that's weeks over weeks over weeks over weeks, right? So let's see what happens with the 8. Let's see what happens with the 20. I'll be way more interested if something happens to the 20. I'll end it in that. So, hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, you know it. Thank you. Thank you.